Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome here to Papua New Guinea. If you're new here, my name is Ryan. Jeff and I are heading up to Wewak, our last flight of the day. We're staying up there all week long. We had conference, so we're just taking all of our missionaries back to all of their locations this week, but we'll be spending 2 more nights up there. We did last night as well. Anyway, Jeff is allowing me to fly today, which is great. We're actually gonna go check out Mount Wilhelm, our highest mountain here in Papua New Guinea. It's right on the way. So we're gonna go check out the top. It's a nice clear day, up to 15,000 feet. So before we head out though, let me show you guys our new helicopter. I know some of you guys are interested in seeing the progression of it. It's getting its blades put on today, so let's go over there and take a look. Well, we're gonna go ahead, load up now. We don't have any passengers on our way back. We're just positioning ourselves for tomorrow's flights up to Yifki and Tari and everything. Thought about filming one of those as well for you guys. And about an hour and 15-minute flight back up to 18,000 feet. So let's load up.
Goroka Tower, November Tango Kilo, request taxi, Wewak, 2 POV.
November Tango Kilo, Goroka Tower, taxi, hold shot 17, left QNH 1018.
1018, taxi and hold short, 17 left, November Tango Kilo.
Kilo enter 17, left the backtrack line.
Clear the backtrack line up, 17 left, November Tango Kilo. We're going to go check out, Jeff and I were just talking on the way here, we're going to check out the tallest mountain here in Papua New Guinea because it's right on our track anyway, just a couple miles off. And it's just a few feet shy of 15,000 feet. It's a beautiful clear day up there. It's really hazy here in the valley, but it was clear up there, so we'll see if it's still clear. It was about 40 minutes ago. November Tango Kilo, ready for departure, and looks like I've got departing traffic in sight. And also can make a left-hand turn, or we'll just make a right-hand turn behind him. I don't really care.
November Tango Kilo, just confirm left-hand set for the right.
Yeah, I could do left-hand turn, setting course overhead behind the departing traffic, November Kilo.
17 left, left-hand clear for takeoff.
Copy traffic by 2, clear for takeoff, left turn, November Tango Kilo. Alright, there's rotate. I'll up our ITT to 740. For over 85. We've got inbound traffic, so I'm just going to go ahead and make my left-hand turn now.
538 Alpha Tango Echo.
There's over 90. Goroka Tower, November Tango Kilo, departed time 50. We'll be tracking 321 on climb 18,000, passing through 7,000. We'll be setting course directly overhead.
Reporting in setting course.
Okay, firm setting course now, November Kilo.
November Tango Kilo, traffic November Alpha X-ray 46 over Yabal, flight level 230, estimating Goroka 0315 west, contact Moresby 120.1, no contact 6598.
120.16598, copy inbound traffic, November Tango Kilo. It was probably a lot easier just doing a left-hand turn rather than turning in and have to worrying about the traffic there and all that kind of stuff. So
it made a lot of sense.
All right, so let's take a look here where we're actually going. There's the Jimmy, so there's kind of Mount Herbert coming out. So it looks like we'll start seeing it here in a second. We get trimmed out a little bit all over the place. And we'll flip our landing, our igniters, and our bypass back to normal. Flip our oxygen on now. And we're going all the way up to 18,000 today. So this is just a regulator. We just regulate it to whatever altitude we're going. I typically turn up a little bit higher than what I'm actually going to, so gives me just a little bit more because my stats are always low. Now, Jeff, you're sitting in that seat. Now you can observe all of my mistakes because now you won't have to be flying.
I know, now I can point them out.
That's right.
That'd be great.
Yep. it looks like there's a lot more clouds on the top now. Like, I mean,
definitely.
it was an hour ago, I guess, that we went by it now. Stink. It doesn't look like we're gonna be able to see the top. We'll continue on though. It might clear up just on the other side of these clouds. I don't know. Just getting out of their airspace now, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to that one. Moresby 120.1, November Tango Kilo transfer.
November Tango Kilo, Moresby, good day. Stand by, stand by.
Well, let's see, we're just about the top now, because it's just 15,000, so we're seeing just the tips of the ridges. I don't think. We'll just continue on.
November Tango Kilo, Moresby, go ahead.
November Tango Kilo, 18 miles to the west-northwest, on climb 18,000, passing 145, and copy inbound traffic Goroka. Estimating overhead Maui 31, and we'll be tracking up to 15 miles left of track. We'll report again back on track.
November Tango Kilo, Air QNH 1007, confirm copy traffic, November Alpha X-ray.
And that's inbound to Goroka from the west, confirm?
November Tango Kilo, that's confirmed.
Yep, we've already passed him, thanks, November Kilo.
November Tango Kilo, Roger, Maui, call on 126.7, HF 6598.
1267, 6598, Maui, November Tango Kilo. Alright, so there's a couple lakes here, and I'll try to go over there where you can see them. They're kind of dark water today, so you're not going to see them very easily from here. If you're not looking or know where to look, but you
I can see two right there.
Okay, yeah, and there's like a waterfall coming down between the two of them.
Yep, I got it.
Really beautiful. I'd like to see what it looks like on the ground, but yeah, really spectacular.
Make your wing to the right. Now we're right over top of that first lake.
All right.
There's like a house right next to it.
Yeah, there is. It's a little shack. Oh yeah, the other one's right below me. Very cool. Yeah, it's a little shack for camping, for the hikers and stuff. Wow, that's so beautiful. I bet that water's freezing cold. Yeah, that's like the halfway point of the hike.
Okay.
So then you can camp out over there in this little tiny rinky-dink shack, so I hear. And I guess we'll just pick back up on the video as we start our descent back down into Wewak, because not much is going to be happening in the next probably 40 minutes or so. Right, we're about 30 seconds before we get notified that it's top of descent. We're just at 18,000. We're going to shoot the approach going in there. It's a beautiful day, but just for practice. And then Jeff wants me to hand fly it in, try to make everything as hard as possible, because I like doing that to him. I like failing things on him as well. Anyway, let me set this up for you guys so you can follow along with this as well.
Vertical track.
There we go. Turn this all the way down to 3,100 for the first leg. And I've got it set in for a vertical speed target of 1,000. So we'll get it on down to maybe 800 at first. Let it zoom on past and climb all the way up to 1,000, and then kind of slowly click it in. Otherwise, I'll just go to 1,200 immediately, and then just sit there and bobbles trying to get back to what you had, and get in some left rudder pressure on our descent. Once we get to our initial approach fix, then I'll throw the foggles on, and then that's where we'll just start doing hand flying from there on out. 2 miles out, we'll make our 30-mile or 25-mile call here in a few minutes. Make sure my fuel is on. Our brakes are good. Our TAWs will leave on. Our train awareness. Our VREF we've already checked up. I just put it in at 70 knots just because we're empty and I don't really care about going in as slowest as possible. Our lights and inlet we'll get as we get a little bit closer in. We'll turn off our pitot heats as we get lower as well. Our abort on this one, if this was a real IMC condition day and we had to do a miss or anything like that, our miss would be a right-hand turn out, climbing up to 3,100 feet back to Echo Hotel and then retry it from there. But if we do need to go around for any reason for birds or anybody on the runway, we'll power up 20 degrees of flaps, pitch for 12 degrees, reset our ITT, correction our torque up to max torque, and then try it again. Up in harness, we'll get here shortly, so that's as far as we can get right now. Just going to keep my speed all the way up to Echo Charlie, and then in the transition from there out to Echo India, I'll just remain my 3,100 feet, and that's where I'll start slowing myself down. It is 5 miles, so typically I do 3 miles, or that equates to one minute on here, on average, if your speeds are on average descent, right? So it should only take us about 1.5 minutes or so, roughly, to get from there to there, but I will be slowing down, so maybe 2 minutes. So those are things I'm thinking through my head, like how much time do I have? I mean, obviously it's going to tell you right here as well, but kind of working through my head, how much time do I have to get everything done that I think I need to get done? So, well, yesterday Jeff and I were coming in, we had a lot of volcanic ash all through here, between 5 and 8,000. Even this morning I felt like we saw some. Now it's more just a haze where it's not a definite layer, but even this morning we were seeing those like super like sharp lines from the ash. But I don't really see, I mean it's hazy, but it's hazy everywhere in PNG today. So if you're a flight simmer, you want to try out some of these same flights that Jeff and I do, check out the link below. I'll even probably post something like this here so you guys can try out the approach coming in here on your flight sim, and then tomorrow Jeff and I are heading up to Tari to pick up some fuel and stuff, so we thought might do that leg from Yifki up to Tari. I don't know if I've ever filmed that specific leg. I know we have on the way back the other way, but all stations, WEWAC, Kodiak November Tango Kilo, 33 miles on the 141 radial, passing 14,000, and estimating WEWAC, oh correction, 44 miles WEWAC, estimating WEWAC 56. So.
November Kilo, Moresby, confirm revised estimate WEWAC now 56.
Hey firm, 56, November Tango Kilo. Well, yeah, it says landing 5.
Kilo, no, reported.
Oh, not 5. November Kilo.
We were on the hour earlier.
Yeah, we were on the hour earlier. Oh, that really has built up quite a bit more than I was anticipating it to.
The day, yeah.
Right, I'm gonna go ahead and flip off my pitot heats at this time. 12,000, we'll go ahead and take our oxygen off. Right, so 3,100 feet, and we'll continue 3,100 feet Echo India, and then we're going to descend to 1,700. I've already got all these turned to cyan, so it should give us our vertical guidance here, like a little poor man's glide slope coming in, so we can be able to fly those in all the way down to our final approach fix, and then from that point on down to our minimum descent altitude, then we'll just go on down at 1,000 feet down to our minimum descent altitude, which is 1,010, so that'll just be pattern altitude, and then we'll just enter into the pattern at that point. All right, 6 minutes to our next point. I love when the descent works out where you just scrape over everything and you don't have to make a turn or anything, you just barely cut all the way through. It's crazy how many times that happens too. It's almost like, this is like, almost so many times it's not a coincidence anymore, kind of. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah. Well, because we were at 18, it was to our advantage too, I think. And you did the higher descent rate.
Yeah, if there are clouds, I typically like to do the high, especially if I don't have people. I like the higher descent so that you don't have to muck around all the way down through. It just kind of gets you right over top of everything. But I mean, typically, it's usually built up all the way down to here, and it's kind of just flat, and then it kind of piles up there. All right, well, let's throw these goggles on and get used to them now.
Very stylish.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they work pretty well. They're a little scratched up, but... All right, because we're fueling up there, I'm just gonna throw my fuel back on, because I'll probably forget if I don't as we get into the approach a little bit more. It's just gonna, my workload's gonna go up a heck of a lot more. So, try to get as much stuff done as I can now. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my lights on. We are 24 miles. All right, well, we'll call again when we're a little bit closer. And we'll get our bypass here in a second. So I'm not going to increase my descent anymore. I'm just adjusting my power to bring my descent profile back on where I want it to be. Because I don't want, all I'm going to do is just increase my speed the lower I go. And if I increase this as well, it's just going to get my speed up higher and higher and higher. So easier just to adjust it from power from this point on. Okay, we're gonna make a right-hand turn. I'm gonna start slowing down, prop forward, 10 degrees of flaps, down to 110 knots, remain 3,100 feet. All stations, WEWAC, Kodiak, November Tango Kilo, 15 miles to the southeast, passing 4,400. We'll be tracking coastal inbound, estimating circuit 5-7, WEWAC. Right, now we're making our turn, going down to 3,100 and slowing down. 3,200, and we're bringing our power back on. Back initially, there's 10 degrees of flaps. Now that we're leveling off, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing my power back in to, I don't know, probably around 800-ish for starters. Okay, 3,100, then we're going down to 1,700 after this turn here. Verifying, yes, Wisco, India. We'll do 3,100 initially for 4 miles, 4.4 until we get to 4.42 with Echo Foxtrot, and then we'll descend down with these boxes. All right, so it looks like we're going to take a little bit less power. Now that it's getting down to there, then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of power back in to maintain that 110. It's nice that it's not bumpy. It's going to make it a heck of a lot harder.
No, it's nice in the day.
Vertical track.
All right. After this, we go 1,700 feet after this turn here. Another minute or so. We'll hold it for just a little short bit. And once we start our descent, then we'll start pulling the power back down to 400 foot-pound of torque. 410, I'll just do an easy 400 right below that is what I'd do. Run up to standard rate right here. Nope, doesn't really actually need that much. Add a little bit of power in the turn. Okay, I'm gonna just barely pull that power back to 910, or 810, because that's what it was working earlier. Right. Now, at this point, we can go down to 7,800. And so it should say 4.4 to Echo Foxtrot. No, it's just not going to go down, so we'll just go ahead and go on down. I thought it would give me the boxes down, but it's not. Go down to 410. Increase our descent rate up because I was a little bit behind now. Go on down to 1,000 foot, looks like. All right, that's getting us a little bit better. And we'll just, once we get there, then we'll go all the way down to 1,000. After Echo Foxtrot.
Careful Bravo is 25 miles to the southeast inbound, level 3,000, circuit 10. All stations, WEWAC.
Up my power a bit, I'm getting a little bit slow. Right, after Foxtrot, then we're going down to our minimum descent altitude of 1,010. At this point, I lose all my boxes and everything. We'll just continue on. Let's do the heading right there. 80, and down at 1,000 feet per minute. There's our miss as up there. And we are going down to 1,010. All stations, WEWAC, Kodiak, November Tango Kilo, 5 miles to the east, 1,800, circuit time 5-9er. All right, 280, 500 feet yet to go. We're just going to go ahead and increase down to 1,000 because I'm not quite getting to where I want to. 100 to go. To go. All right, there's my mist.
Minimums.
All right.
puts you pretty high, doesn't it?
It does. Well, it'll get you set up for the pattern if you're going to go at a pattern, but if you're actually wanting to land right there, yeah, that'd be like full flaps. It'd be a lot of work from that point on. All right, lights and inlet are done. All stations, WEWAC November Kilo, joining into left downwind runway 10 WEWAC. Up and harness is done. Moresby 1267, November Tango Kilo in the circuit, WEWAC cancel SAR.
November Tango Kilo, WEWAC SAR, what's terminated?
November Tango Kilo. All right, so we're at 1,000. We've got 9 knots, so yeah, that is, looking down there, the windsock, I don't really see, maybe 4 or 5 knots maybe. 10 degrees of flaps in now. So we're beaming the numbers, then we'll go 20. I'm just gonna go just off to the right end of this little peninsula right here, and then I'm gonna turn my base at the pier that comes out. And we wanted 70, 80, 90, so slowing on down now. I'm a little bit fast, so I might as well just throw my flaps in now to help slow me down too. We've got a 10 knot tailwind, so I'm just going to come down just a tiny bit faster than maybe normal. Turning base is 700. On to 80. All stations WEWAC, November Kilo, turning final, runway 10 WEWAC. Flaps checklist is complete.
$500.
All right, we'll go for the 500-foot marker. 11 knots of headwind, 7 knots, 6 knots crosswind. We're going to be floating a little bit more because we're not really at our slowest VREF, so I'm going to just bring my point back just a little bit in the head, and I'm just planning on floating a tiny bit. All right, we're continuing. All right, I'm just looking at my spot. Now I'm looking up to where I'm now just looking at the end of the runway. Then usually, if I'm not having to do my brakes, I don't even bother using my brakes because we can just go all the way up to this next one up here, so. It's a lot of work when you feel like you're under pressure when you have someone else just sitting next to you.
Watching you.
Yeah, looking for those mistakes. At least that's how you feel. I know that's probably how you feel.
All the time, man. All the time.
Yeah, no, it's a glorious day when you don't have someone sitting next to you, that's for sure. Guys, thanks for joining Jeff and I along on this flight. Yeah, it was a pleasure for me to be able to fly too, even though it was just kind of a boring flight back. Tried to make it as interesting as possible in these videos for you guys, but welcome here to WEWAC, and yeah, stay tuned maybe for the next video after this, because like I was saying, Jeff and I might be going up to Tari. Well, we will be going up to Tari tomorrow, and maybe we'll take you along on that and do a little on-the-ground footage as well, so. Fuel guy is on top of it today.